Steamboat Willie's coming for you.
Welcome to Mickey Mouse Horror Film 4 out of 4,000. Is this one better than the rest? Let's find out.
Right. I'm Randy.
And I'm Steve.
Welcome to Cinema Therapy.
Yes.
This is a special screening of Screamboat.
Yes.
The newest Mickey Mouse, what do you want to say, spin-off?
Like slasher fest.
Slasher film? And
Slash
this
fest.
one is...
This one is filmed by the same people that did Terrifier 2 and 3. And also there's David Howard Thornton as Mickey Mouse.
Of Mickey Mouse.
Or Willie. And that's probably why this one's gotten the most notoriety so far out of all the ones that have come out so far, because it's David Howard Thornton and Terrifier. So everyone's like, ooh, what's this? Because all the other ones were not going to catch any attention. So now everyone's paying attention to this one now because of the people involved. But this is a tale of Steamboat Willie, who they even bring Walt Disney into the premise of this movie to an extent, but they call him Walter. And yeah, so they bring him up and they bring up how he was a friend of his. He was a friend of Steamboat Willie and how he saved him. And then like something happened to Willie.
Something happened to the ship.
Something happened to the ship
the
and Willie.
Steamboat that they were on.
And then he drowned. And he drowned and came back evil or something. It was random.
I don't know, some weird story.
It was some random. Yeah, I don't. It wasn't very memorable actually. The only thing I remember was Walt Disney being involved in it and being a friend of Mickey Mouse, and the animations look a lot like Mickey Mouse, but David Howard Thornton did not. Like, he didn't look anything like Mickey Mouse.
David Howard Thornton looked like a giant rat.
He looks like a giant rat. He didn't look like Mickey Mouse.
Basically, and he sits in the movie and he's like, like he makes these weird rat noises. I don't know. It's fucking silly.
This movie was
ridiculous.
There were some funny kills, but this movie... Okay, so basically it's a Staten Island ferry, and all these people are trapped on board. They don't realize they're trapped. I say trapped because we get there in a second. Hold on. So they go on this ferry boat in New York City from Staten Island, and meanwhile, like, all of a sudden, just, like, things start to happen on the ship. And this one girl sees, like, Mickey Mouse or Willie kill this one random dude because he's just been killing people on the ship. And then, like, eventually they start to panic and the final girl starts to let everyone else know, hey, there's, like, some creepy rodent on board with us that's killing people. Or, because she sees him this guy getting, like, thrown into, like, getting fed into the water, into the propeller by Willie. Like, he's like dropping a dead body into the ocean and letting him get ground up by the propeller of the boat. And so she lets two of the staff members know. This blonde woman who is on board, I forget, she works on the ferry boat. And then
she's like a paramedic or cop or something.
Yes, and then there's other guy who's like a second in command of the ship. He's not like there's this whole thing of him not being the captain. He doesn't want to be the captain, but he's like a second in command or something like that. And things just go sideways, and Mickey ends up killing a bunch of people in silly ways via getting the sprinklers to activate in this one section of the boat where all these people are, and then like doing something with the power to like make everyone get electrocuted, and except for a couple characters.
One of her friends is played by Kaylee Hyman. She was in Terrifier 2.
Was she a friend or a random person on the board?
She was a friend of the
she
girl.
was her friend in the movie. Yeah.
Well, one of her friends. She
Yeah.
was Cinderella.
She was supposed to be dressed as
Cinderella.
She was dressed as Cinderella for her birthday. It was her birthday trip, and she wanted to like go on board. There's references to actually in one scene where I'm not gonna say where in the movie. You'll have to watch the movie to find out if you want to. There's a random scene where like they make a bunch of references to a bunch of Disney stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Disney references in this movie, like scattered throughout actually. But there's one scene in particular where you see a bunch of objects that look familiar from our Disney movies. So
overall, I mean,
it was decent.
Yeah, it was decent, and I gave the movie 4 stars. That might be pushing it, but
I gave it 4 stars too.
But it wasn't bad.
It wasn't
as bad as the other Mickey Mouse movies.
The only one I think was better was I Heart Willie, but
I Heart Willie I did like. I think
that was better.
Score I gave this.
I gave them the same scores,
but I like I Heart Willie
better. I think the story was better. I think honestly expected more since this was done by the people that did Terrifier. I don't feel like it was a little corny. It felt a little random, and like the backstory felt like it was there but kind of lazy.
Yeah.
And I didn't like the set pieces in this movie and like the lighting design. It was kind of it was very grungy and cheap looking, which I mean, Terrifier is known for, but it was almost like a little bit too hokey for me at times. Is what I felt like. But the movie wasn't boring. I thought it was entertaining enough. It's just one of those movies where you have to kind of just like, it's one of those movies where it's just cheesy, and if you want to watch something cheesy, watch it, otherwise don't watch it or don't get your hopes up, because it's not one to really like be like wowed by. It's just sort of there for like cheap entertainment. This is like a cheap thrills movie, just like, literally.
And if you like the Terrifier movies and you like The Mean One with David Howard Thornton, or Stream, you'll like this movie.
You will. There's also some, like I said, some pretty batshit kills.
Pretty batshit kills.
Should we bring up some of them? There's a scene where a guy is getting like this girl is like trying to get with this guy, and there's an explicit scene. There's an adult scene in this movie where they're doing adult activity, and during this, Mickey Mouse, or Willie, I should say, is like being a creep and like spy on them, and being a voyeur, a creepy little voyeur in the little ducts, in the little vents. And then he comes out of the ducts and offs this guy by chopping off a part of his body, and I'm sure you can guess what that is. And then it gets used in another death scene later with another character. It's
gross.
It's hilarious, is what it is. The movie has this unlikely band of really kind of cheesy characters trying to survive. So don't expect anything really flashy out of this movie. It's pretty low budget feeling at times, but it's if you just want something grungy and gory and kind of messy, sloppy, Mickey Mouse horror film, go ahead.
Yeah, it's in limited theaters right now. I don't know if it's still playing. It was only in there for 2 days. So look for it on streaming when it eventually comes out. I don't know how else to see this movie besides the movie theaters.
Me neither. But definitely go check this one out and let us know what you think. Like more, as always, watch Cinema Therapy, and we'll see you in our next video.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.